Okay, so we're back now, about an hour after this exciting match between Alexander Sturmengdal and John Marn has finished, and now in about 10 minutes this next match between Dominik Petrek and Jung Hyun Seo is gonna start. And what are your thoughts about this match, Vidar?
I think it'll be very exciting. I've played John very many times. However, I've never actually played Dominik, but I know he's a strong player and has an elo above 2200. And yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty similar. Obviously, since we're both from Sweden, we've played John a couple of times. We obviously know that he's a good player. He can definitely pull off a surprise here. I would definitely say that Dominik, just judging by the elo, is the favorite.
Of course.
But yeah, you should not count out John. He definitely has a lot of talent in chess, and yeah, I'm very excited. But do you have anything to say about this game between or this match between Alex and John?
I mean, I'll just say the scoreline didn't particularly reflect the actual game performance between them. It felt like Alexander had a lot of chances. He was queen up, he was an exchange up and missed the mate in one. And I mean, although Jan won with quite a margin, I do believe that Alexander had a really good chance, and it was not as one-sided as one would think based on the results.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I think definitely Alex is gonna score some better results in his remaining two games. One is against me, obviously, yes. And then one is against is it Greta? Yeah. So I definitely think he's gonna be able to have a bit of a better performance there for sure. I think, honestly, judging from his play today against John, we know, obviously having seen John play William, we know he's a strong player. It's not easy to play him, and he's played this format before.
Yeah, exactly. He did play against William Olsen in a match before we actually began this tournament. So yeah.
Yeah, it was the entire idea of why we started this
exactly.
He played that match against William, and we were commentating it, and John won that match, and so I was definitely expecting him to play very well today. But Alex actually surprised me. He played very strong, and then in the crucial moments he made some mistakes, but definitely had a high level there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might.
Fortunate for him that he did actually win the only game that didn't matter, because they did accidentally start a new game after the result was already decided. So yeah.
Yeah, as you can see on the screen, which he won with this move, knight to e6. As you might see, there are no cameras this time. Neither John or Dominik were able to have their cameras on for this match, which is a bit sad, but it is what it is. I'm sure you also noticed, if you watched the last stream, that we had a bit of a struggle getting the cameras to work, but we really hope to fix that to the next match. But yeah, for now there will be no cameras, just so you guys know that.
Yeah.
So the game should be starting in
9 minutes.
In 9 minutes, yeah. So it's not a lot of time left. I'm really intrigued to see how this match goes. You know, the last match was decided only by 5 games.
Yeah.
Which is I was hoping for 8 games, obviously. But we'll see if it goes further. If it goes further this time. Do you have any thoughts or?
I'm looking forward to this. But yeah.
Yeah, you should definitely watch the last stream if you weren't able to make it. It was some difficulties with us.
Well, not too much. I mean, we're going to definitely fix that for the next matchup.
We're actually really excited for this. So we have still 8 minutes before it starts. What should we do before that? Is the question. If anybody has any questions, you could type that in the chat. Perhaps we should.
Yeah, but we have the chat right there, I think.
Yeah, I could.
No, okay.
No?
Yeah, okay.
Maybe. I can't do that. Yeah, we'll see if anybody has any thoughts or questions. They can type that into the chat and we'll answer that. But for now, I guess we just we wait for the match. It's not so much to be said until then. And we know that that John is going to challenge Dominik at exactly 5 p.m. So yeah, so that there's no misunderstanding about when the match starts. But I guess we could, in the meantime, we could check out some of the crucial moments from the last match.
That's true.
If you could bring that up.
All right. So they had a few interesting games here. So particularly, I'd say this one was very, very crucial. Let's just see if that one works. So, well, it started off in, I'd say it'd be up to like d5. This very, I mean, like not of pawns in the center, and obviously both players spent a lot of time here.
Yes, this was a very crucial moment. We were discussing whether you should take on d5 with the pawn or whether you should take on e5. Alex chose to take this, and after knight takes e4, it is not really possible. I'm not sure if we could show that. Maybe we can.
Of course.
If bishop e4, d4, we were looking. Oh, that was not
That's definitely
my
not a
intention.
good move.
But yeah, basically, if we have this, there follows a check on d1 most likely. This was just our analysis because now there's a 4. The only move would be rook e1, after which you could, for example, take this and take this, which is probably, or at least equal, and probably black could even be pressing. You could play bishop f4, try to target here, but I guess maybe f6.
Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe you can take on e5 and I don't know.
Yeah, but this should be
that
definitely
should be
okay for
definitely okay for black.
Black,
I mean,
instead-
black even has the bishop pair there. But I think what he did instead, he played. What is it in analysis mode?
Yeah, perhaps we
Maybe
can.
we should
we can
remove that one.
We can do this also, perhaps.
Oh yeah, do.
Delete one.
Yeah, exactly. So he went for bishop e3, and they took. Now, yeah.
Here, of course, just to add, it was not possible to take this pawn because they would follow bishop takes e4 at the end, after which you would capitulate that. So bishop f5. Yeah, and now we had this interesting moment when John decided to. I should just have a look at the clock so we don't miss anything. But yeah, John decided to play rook takes e5 here, allowing knight takes f5 and f3. And as you can see, by the time both of them were pretty short on time here, and well, what followed was an interesting sequence when John sacrifices the exchange, and then he puts this knight here in a menacing position, eyeballing f3, looking at g2 as well. But I have to say, Alex defended nicely, and then yeah, here we had a moment when perhaps f5 was interesting, but as Alex mentioned afterwards, his idea was to play queen e2 here. Which looks fine to my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, what is obviously change up.
Yeah, so probably he would have had decent winning chances. Instead, John went for this g6 move. Queen e2 was also possible here, I guess. But also we were looking at this move f4, which just solves all White's problems. He's protecting the mate. He's also protecting his knight on d2. But instead, Alex went for rook d1.
Could defend the knight, but now g2 is just hang and well.
Yeah, and with this game also, I think the score was 2.5 to John.
Yeah.
And had Alex won this game, it would have been within one game. Everything could happen. Alex had been having some good positions. Also in the game that they drew before this, Alex was a queen up.
Yeah.
Perhaps we could show that quickly.
Yeah, so just go back here, and then it was this game, right?
Yes.
The draw game.
Yes.
So it was quite early on, and so wait, doesn't, I don't know. Guess we no. That's weird. Anyway, I don't know why that doesn't work.
Okay, that's very strange.
Just press this button. And
Yeah. So basically in this game we had a French, and then the crucial moment was here when John played this perhaps not very good h3 move, allowing knight to d4. Now this one works. Yeah. Allowing knight to d4, and basically the problem is if you go back with the queen, you can take on f3, and then you can take on h3. That's just a pawn, but obviously that's not what White wanted from opening. Instead, John decided to
sacrifice the queen,
which was probably not a good decision, but eventually, obviously, this game should probably have been won. We were thinking here about the move knight d5, or perhaps knight e8 or something during analysis. Instead, Alex allowed this knight into d5, and slowly but surely, John started building up counterplay, especially when he got this bishop in here to g6, and this one we can just so quickly. Bishop e7 was a really poor decision, because after bishop g6, this bishop is really passive and it's impossible to move the e8 rook, as the bishop on e7 would be hanging. But essentially, he managed to draw from this game anyways, Alex, and then he had that position in the next game. He probably should have won. Actually, both of those he should have won. Yeah, and if he would have won both of those, it would have been 2-2. Everything would be able to happen from there. Yeah. Instead he lost the other game, and he drew this, and obviously it was all downhill from there.
Yeah. And so the next game starts in 1 minute.
Yeah, so probably we should
probably prepare.
We should probably do that.
Oh wait, he's playing?
Yeah,
they just started.
Okay, so we have
Queen's Gambit declined.
Yes, we have Dominik with white and John with black here.
Yeah. I've haunted John quite a few times in this opening actually, even though last time he managed to somehow win from this position, which was surprising because I was pressing the entire game, and then time pressure I just landed everything. So here the main moves knight b3. Will we see the same with the c4 here, or will we play knight fd4?
Yeah, exactly. c4 was played by John in the last match, and it's played here as well by Dominik. So definitely this seems to be a bit of a trend right now. And we saw this bishop d7 move,
and bishop b2, and then rook fc8 was played.
So John plays rook fd8, which is the more natural response. Here, I think a good move is to now play this knight to d4, which is what he has done, because this knight this knight should go to b5.
The d6 square is quite weak.
Yes, exactly. I actually analyzed this position not so long ago at all, but rook c1, I don't remember looking at that move. I'm pretty sure I looked at knight b5 here, because you do pressure, especially the d6 where you can follow up with c5. But anyways, rook c1 played, and now h6. Yeah. So what do you think about the position?
Rook c1 is a very natural move. You can't go wrong with that. And I would suppose Jan would probably like to play some bishop e8 move and try to just exchange off and get a draw. That's kind of his idea with this opening, I think.
Yeah, exactly. He's putting this bishop safely now. Just all the pieces are out. Probably this idea is interesting. I recall some similar position. Probably he wishes to go c5. Also, we should just mention that these ratings are not really accurate. I guess that they just haven't played too much on chess.com or something. Because that's obviously not their actual loss. Yeah. So c5 played, just as I talked about. This knight wants to go to d6, and if you can get this bishop for it, then it's probably
suddenly Jan is under a lot of pressure here. Is he going to play? So wait, should we flip now, or is it too late?
Yeah, we can flip if you want to. Yeah, I think if you go back a few moves, as I was talking about in this position, knight b5 is, I guess, the main move. But here, rook c1 is obviously a useful move. h6 is, it's useful, but exactly how useful is it in this line, I'm not really sure. But on the other hand...
Wait, isn't b7 hanging?
b7 is hanging, but b5 is hanging.
Oh yeah, that's true.
a2 is also hanging. a lot of stuff is hanging.
Basically,
This might be
John
one idea
wants to
why.
go.
Yeah, this might be one idea why perhaps rook e1 is maybe not right, but on the other hand, knight a2 can always be met with rook a1.
Yeah.
So
This
it's
is a
not-
very critical position. I think he's going to take a bit of time, Dominik here.
Yes, I agree with you. But on the other hand, you have to do something with this knight because
Yeah.
taking on b7, probably black just takes on b5, which is not good.
Yeah, and also black is probably going to go bishop c6, and I mean, to compare it, the bishop on g2 is so much better than the bishop on e8, and that'd be a great exchange for black.
One thing you should watch out for though is in such a position, in some moments with the bishop on c6, you have to watch out for bishop f6, and then this pawn can start running. It's not dangerous with the rook on d8, but if you, for example, were to change those rooks once as black,
The most logical move here is definitely knight d6, right?
Yeah, knight d6 is. I'm pretty sure he would play that because.
But also remember, after knight d6, maybe you can take and then take on c1, and if rook takes, then suddenly d6 might. You
Yes,
could probably
exactly.
be able to capture it, right?
I'm starting to feel like this move is perhaps a bit more inaccurate than we thought it was.
But at the same time, if you now take and then take on c1, rook takes d6, rook c8, maybe I don't know.
Yes, he's taking that.
Because now if you take on c1,
Yeah,
rook
takes on
takes.
c1 will happen.
oh yeah, of course you can't take on f6 because then you don't have
takes.
bishop a3, yeah.
Rook takes
So-
on 6. Okay, he takes on a2 simply.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, so what's going on now? He's winning a pawn, but he has no development at all. So this knight comes
Also,
back, and now he's gonna castle
A7 is
a7, but you
But
can
now
capture
bishop
him.
c6, right? And then I don't know if it's possible to defend that.
But bishop
defense,
c6, I guess you're gonna take on c6, and you
You
probably
can always go knight takes c6 and then just take
Yeah,
the rook.
this should be Jewish now, man. Bishop c6. This is what I'm telling you
I think
about John.
I think
Very-
John is he's a
very
quick player.
clinical. Quickly, clinically, just making the draw. Probably he should take knight c6.
Yeah.
He does take knight
I
c6.
think they should be really happy with a draw here as black.
Drawing the first game as black against the higher rated opponent, and now we see this h6 move being very useful.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
And though he has a
this
worse
should
pawn
be-
structure,
yeah,
this should just
this
be a
should
draw.
a simple draw. One of them offered a draw, and
Yeah, they
the
took
game
it.
is-
All right.
Yeah. So first, a draw in the start. What
Very well played game, I think. Should we watch? Okay, yeah,
it's good.
it's a rematch. All right, and so
So we have knight f3. I thought.
yeah, I have never seen him play that, but okay, that's interesting.
No, I haven't. I cannot recall. He usually plays e4, right?
Yeah,
Or c3 or,
yeah.
or some. You know,
yeah, he
weird
plays
shit.
c3 a lot of times.
He plays weird
Yeah.
stuff. But okay, this is just normal stuff. Okay, but the draw is very interesting in the first game. This, I mean, I think they're very even players. I thought that was
True.
very even game. This move e4 is a bit too aggressive in my mind
Okay,
because.
I mean, I doubt he knows the theory here because he's not really.
Yeah, but the problem is here, like, black is gonna play c6 at some point with the pawn, and as you can see, black has access to the d4. Okay, he puts the knight there, but anyways, black has access to d4, and white has no access at all to d5 after the pawn
exactly.
reaches c6. So I think black should just be better here.
And also now there's no way of playing. Like he takes a lot of space with a4, which I think is a good move. But also now with queen c2, if he's able to get to d4 with a tempo now, that'd be great for him. Oh, c5, that's
This is
interesting.
probably- yeah, he
I
probably
mean-
was playing against this knight c5.
Yeah.
But as you can see also by John's style, if you compare to the last match, John Marn
Yeah.
playing against us, he was really. Oh, this is a good move, rook a5.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Really utilizing the fact that c5 was perhaps played a bit too quickly by John.
Yeah. Yeah, but also remember a4 is hanging maybe in the end if he takes with the rook on c5, but he can take with a knight.
which is problematic.
But if you play knight c4, rook takes c5, queen takes a4, there's b5 maybe, I don't know.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, so definitely initiative for Dominik
But-
here, I would say.
Yeah, what happens on b4 then? 'Cause
Yeah,
if you
b4
take-
is I think the critical move because you have to take it and then you can take with a
knight
knight and then the rook goes
to a3, right?
and then you have to think. You have
Yeah.
queen b2, putting a bit of pressure here and here, but the problem is e5 is so well defended by both those knights. Another idea I would be perhaps interested in, as you can see, he plays b4. So we're gonna go down that route. I'm pretty sure he's gonna take with the knight, and then this pawn is gonna be
You
captured.
could also go something like rook e1 to take the... Oh, he plays bishop b5 to maybe remove one of the defenders of e5 to try and utilize
Yeah, but
that.
I'm not really sure what this does because like you can take this, but e5 is still protected.
True.
Black can always go f6.
Also
especially
maybe like he tries to... Yeah, it could be... I don't know.
Especially I thought if you give up this bishop, black is happily gonna take back and then play f6,
Yeah.
and then it's very difficult to like you would like to have this bishop here then to pressure here, but if you give it away, then f6 is gonna be able to be played without any.
I wonder if John would like to play knight e2 and knight c4 with the b3 knight, because he wants to utilize this e5 weakness so that or that knight as well.
This knight as well, because this knight kind of holds on to the c5 pawn, I thought.
Sure.
But also, perhaps what he... Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like John has played a bit too quickly here. At least the c4 move. Yeah, definitely Dominik is for choice, which is... yeah, it feels a bit unnecessary from John. Yeah, he had a very good start drawing with black without any difficulties at all, and now kind of perhaps playing a bit too quickly and got himself on the back foot now.
So now Dominik is pressuring b3. I'd probably go knight fd2 here.
I would go bishop c4 perhaps, because yeah, I feel like the bishop is just better on c4 in general.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe this one is also quite possible. I'm not sure what the idea of queen e6 really is.
Yeah, to me it just feels like he's losing up the pressure on c5 as well as just blocking his own bishop. But maybe there's
but perhaps this idea is that he wants to. Whoa.
Oh, he wants to go knight e4 maybe.
Oh, that's a cheap trick.
Yeah.
That's a really cheap.
But he also wants to go with the rook to the king side as well. I think he wants to go knight h4, knight h5, knight f5. I meant.
Yes. Oh. Okay, so he's just protected against that.
Yeah.
But now, okay, then
bishop c4 maybe. This is nice.
Yeah, then I accept it because now none of these pieces are playing, so you can. Okay, queen c3 is a very passive move. Doesn't do much. I feel like they're not playing accurately right now.
No, they played very good last game.
Okay, but now that move is risky because now you're gonna just put stuff on.
Rook f3 and
you're gonna put stuff on f7 now. But the problem is, I guess, if you go bishop c4, queen's gonna come to e7 perhaps back, or also perhaps you can go to f6.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
what I would do is I would ask this. Okay, that is a really strange move.
That's really strange. I don't know.
Was he afraid of rook e3 or what is even going on right now?
I don't know.
That's a really strange move. Is he? What is?
He has some very interesting plan, probably.
I don't really get any of this. I can't even what? I don't even get the.
Is this some Stokish move? I don't know.
What are they doing? I don't get anything. It feels like playing against f7 would be the way to go.
Yeah. Okay, but that feels like a.
That feels like a good move because you wanna just.
And also remaneuver the knight to g6 or something. So now he exchanges that. I mean.
Yeah, he probably wanted. Okay, I don't know. I don't really like what he has done here with.
What about if I was him, I probably would have gone for the king side instead of this.
Yes, or at least bishop c4, try to put some pressure somewhere. Now it just feels like you're pawn down. But okay, I like this idea to try to go c4, and I like this bishop a6 as well because you had to stop knight c4. And this I also like because at some point you're gonna have to have some lift. But now Dominik is definitely gonna
try to solidify his position. He also opens up the a5.
Yes. Yeah. Now it would be.
Now I really like.
Now it's worrying because now all the pieces. This one is going here.
And then e2 as well, knight e2.
Yes, and also with the queen coming in on g6 potentially.
Okay, so he wants to exchange pieces. I mean, I don't.
That's logical, I think. Because even in an endgame, these pawns are doubled. You have to remember that. It's not a clean extra pawn. But
so now he has to remember knight e2.
So what about that one? Perhaps king h2 also makes sense. I like this move. I was talking about it earlier. As soon as white takes this, you can allow this.
You have to make sure there's always room for the knight on e6.
Yes. Or perhaps the other rook. Yeah, the other rook is more accurate. Now you can start thinking about jumps. You can start thinking about bishop a4 actually.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which was perhaps an interesting choice. You can also think about taking on d1 and then going bishop a4.
Isn't this just allowing knight e3? Or maybe it doesn't. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, perhaps now bishop a4 is a serious threat because then you're just gonna win the c5.
Yeah, but what about you just... Okay, so he...
Nice, okay.
Okay, I don't see it.
I think black is just having a very practical approach here.
Yeah. Preventing any play from white and just playing...
Yeah, and then essentially bishop a4 will be played sooner or later, I'm sure. Yeah, he changes first, and now I guess bishop a4 or bishop e2.
Okay, that's interesting.
Oh no, this is quite good because bishop f3, king f3, rook a3 is gonna come.
Oh yeah.
So rook a3, rook d3, and then you take on b3.
Oh, knight e4.
Yeah, or take first.
Oh yeah, that's...
Taking this one and it's over.
Yeah, this looks over.
Knight e4 is also over. It will amount to the same thing.
Yeah, he'll probably resign now.
Yes, I think so too. That was very... Okay, he
never resigns.
He always goes for these king walks.
The king never ends up.
He's literally getting mated in 2 moves now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next game.
Yeah, I think that was probably a bit sad for. Oh, we should flip the board. Yeah.
Okay.
A bit sad from John's perspective. I think he definitely should not have played the opening that quickly because I think that haunted him in the.
So he's going to play the Benoni now. Oh no, never
Okay,
mind.
so
The Blumenfeld.
Blumenfeld. I have no.
He
idea
played
what
this
to say.
once in which tournament was that?
In Swedish Championship.
Yeah, in the Swedish Championship.
Yeah.
I saw that. It was a very strange position.
Yeah,
Like,
against Joe or who was it?
No, it was an older player. Or maybe he played it multiple
Aha,
times. I
then he
don't
played
know.
it multiple times. He was talking about playing this against Joe at least,
Oh, okay.
but perhaps he never did.
Yeah.
So I kind of like this for black. You know, you just go here and then you just say that you have some kingside pressure, perhaps.
Yeah.
It feels like a good way to play a blitz game at least.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also very typical of his style because I mean there's no f pawn. The kings might get weak. He might go for like a king f7, king g6. I don't know.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all. No, but I feel like, in all seriousness, playing this in a blitz game, especially when you just lost the game, you feel like you want to get back. I mean, it is risky because you might lose another one.
Yeah. So
Okay, that is not a particularly impressive maneuver.
I mean, he provokes a5, so b5 might get a weak.
Yeah, but provoking a5
it's not really.
You would have played a5 anyways. That's
Yeah.
not a good idea from John.
Yeah.
So perhaps he should start using some time. Actually, not just
He's playing like a bullet game. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not actually bullet, John. You can't play some time. Okay, I like this rook a4 idea because like knight g4 is always there.
Yeah, and he's also probably gonna play e5, e4, or something like that.
Yes. Now this one is definitely showing us that he has some intentions. Perhaps d4. Perhaps he just wants to protect d5 and go e5.
Okay, so he's moving that's definitely intriguing. What about knight d4 here? Because you can't take on e4 then.
That's true. That's an interesting idea. But I guess he just wants to sit with this rook on h3 or something.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
A lot of slow moves from him. I'm not sure if I really like them, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess the idea is to like try to keep pressure on b5 and I don't know.
Yeah, I guess a6 was coming at some point, so perhaps it makes sense. So is Dominik trying to go for a mating attack here with office hour?
Maybe.
That feels
I mean,
far-fetched. But
personally I'm playing knight e4 here for maybe e5 and try to go for e4 myself. h6 that's...
he keeps being a bit too passive, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean now he's weakened his light scores very much. I mean, oh.
Very passive stuff.
Yeah.
I don't get this at all. Like, and what he played it in 1.6 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And now,
not at
I mean,
all.
if I was him, I'd probably go close the position right now.
Okay, so e5 is not on the cards because of bishop takes f3, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
ef6, queen f6, queen d3. It's interesting though, with mating ideas.
Maybe.
I guess this is what he's calculating, but it looks far-fetched. Perhaps
By the way, you can always like...
oh, but the thing is actually, because b5 is hanging now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So... what is even going on now? So e5 we have to check.
Also remember, once, like if you exchange 2 times on e5, the rook will be like a hanging piece on h4, but I don't think black can really utilize it.
You can also just take on f3 and the rook is to be
Yeah,
hanging
that's true.
piece.
So bishop takes f3.
e5 played.
Yeah,
Okay, so he's
I feel
definitely...
like it's quite forced to take on
You
f3
have to
here,
take on f3 here as black. But things ed6, I just realized. Why would you take on f6? You can take on d6. That gives...
Yeah, and then you're gonna have... You can't recapture on d6.
Yeah, that
then,
just wins for...
Are you
for
sure?
one.
Can you go queen f7 as well?
No, but the bishop falls down.
Yeah, but c3 is fine. But I mean, sure, it's...
Okay, but
You're
that's...
2 pawns down, so...
That looks horrible. And bishop takes h6 is gonna come there. That looks really horrible. Oh, we have Alex Remengdahl contributing in the chat. We should perhaps have a look at that one. I completely missed that.
So
yeah, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
So it's not interesting now, but we should definitely keep an eye on it. If anyone says anything later. Okay, but this is a very exciting position. What is going on? Because it's a fork. I mean, okay, you could take on c3 immediately, but okay, he takes on f3.
Okay,
takes on d6. He has.
I mean,
okay,
no, g takes f3.
Oh, he just missed g takes f3. What?
No, but maybe.
Hey, why was that not winning? G f3. Because you can't take on c3.
I don't know. I was thinking he'd play that, but maybe.
Yeah, it's just over.
Maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Did he miss g f3?
Maybe he thinks this is better.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, this is also completely winning.
You can take on h6, right?
Can you?
I don't know, maybe.
Take.
Looks possible.
King g7.
And then rook g6.
Oh yeah, that should be over. But you know it's John. He's gonna start working as usual.
I mean, rook d1 here. I mean, okay, yeah, these bishops are just.
Okay, he just takes
Alright,
black. Keep it simple. Yeah, rook b5 after like a fraction of a second.
What about knight e5 here?
Yeah, what about
Knight e5.
knight d5? There was queen e4, I thought.
Yeah, but knight e5.
Oh, knight e5.
Because if you take, queen takes. Oh wait,
Yeah,
you
but
can take on
bishop-
b5 and then bishop
Yeah,
f1
bishop
again.
f1 again. Okay, so I like this approach from Dominik. Just no risk. Just saying, I'm gonna just mate you now. Rook f7 played, and bishop g6, rook e7. Yeah, this is over.
Yeah.
This is over.
Okay, but in the last 20 seconds, maybe you can.
Bishop e3. Oh, we've been disconnected.
Okay, we can just remove that one. I will probably get reconnected.
Yeah, let's hope so. Okay, so what's actually happening here? So the material is actually level for the moment, and it's only 6 seconds, which is
Maybe it's bad internet that just loses.
or maybe we have bad internet.
Oh yeah, we probably have bad internet.
Yeah, we probably have bad internet. Let's try to reload. Okay, so something has happened.
Alright. So, okay.
So what is happening now? Wait,
Wait, is this even.
is this even?
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Okay, it's over. Bishop h6. Should you just try queen if? Okay, no, that doesn't work. You can just try discover check.
Yeah.
Queen if I would have been a.
Oh no,
funny
my
move,
queen.
of course. Yeah, but bishop f4 is a bit of an issue.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot of
Okay,
it.
so
Just
what, so what do we do here? You take it. What? That was bishop f4.
Cold blooded. Rook f7 here? Yeah.
Bishop d8.
True. You
Yeah.
should have gone rook f8 there, not rook f7. Okay, never mind. They just keep on playing.
They just keep on. Wait.
Rook d2, come on. Oh yeah, you can even take there actually.
But this is not even so lost.
No, this is
Why would you do this? Like if we go
Yeah.
back to
I mean, there's.
I mean this position. Tell me
Queen
what's
f4.
tell me what's wrong with bishop f4.
Okay, but it's very important now to look at the game.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, alright. So, his king is,
Okay,
as per
okay,
usual, on the e7.
Yeah, as per usual, his king is having.
Okay, so now he's lost all his pawns. But
he's
still,
not lost. He's only 1 pawn.
Yeah, I know.
This is not even that bad. Like
This is survival. I don't know what's happening.
It's not actually survivable, but but yeah, definitely not clinical.
Considering his opponent only has 10 seconds, I mean, you could make a
yeah,
mistake
and
here.
I definitely think Dominik is gonna be pretty upset with himself if he doesn't win this game.
Okay, I
Okay,
mean,
so what's going on here? He's just moving back and forth. He has a minute on the clock.
what about if you play rook f8 here? You're threatening rook takes f2, right? So,
He's not actually.
couldn't they have gone rook f3 there, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, he's not using his time anyways.
Yeah, but he just wants to play on his
He
opponent's
just
side,
wants to
right?
play on his opponent's time. Yes, that's true. So he's slowly starting to, put the pieces.
Okay.
Now the king is a bit
Okay.
weakened. You can start checking for perpetual check. You would definitely throw in this check. See how he's gonna respond to it.
Remember, there's a mate on g7, so you can't go like queen f3 or something.
Yeah,
like
we
that.
saw that in the last match.
Yeah.
Times. But now he's putting pressure. Okay, this is a good move. Rook c2, just
Yeah, I agree.
enabling this one. Okay, so what's gonna happen now? Rook e8. Wait,
Interesting. So
that
now,
allows rook. There's no checks.
Oops.
Yeah, perhaps it should have gone to A7, but okay, yeah. It was deserved.
Yeah, it was deserved. I mean,
yeah.
you definitely should have lost that anyway.
Yeah.
Rook take, queen e5, rook takes e5, rook d1, I should see what.
I cannot understand what he's saying actually.
Would have been a beautiful con. I mean,
I don't even know which position he's talking
yeah, I
about,
think
to
it's
be honest.
talking about the. I don't know. Okay, but.
Why is he playing?
I don't know. He's refusing to resign her.
Somehow they've managed to enter a king in pawn, which is just absolutely incredible.
He's going to try to find some like.
He's gonna. Feels like he's just okay, that's actually kind of nice.
That's disgusting.
That's actually really disgusting. Yeah. But if you don't resign, it's your own fault.
Yeah, that's true.
If you,
Pre-move g6 here.
you know, there was a tournament, a Blitz tournament where I played in, where the winning player was his brother, John's brother.
Oh yeah.
And he promoted all his pawns to like bishops or something. And he was the arbiter yelled at him and was really mad that he did that. But the opponent never resigned. He just kept on playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's your own fault, I guess.
Okay, so now we have something very interesting.
Yes.
So basically, we already had a must-win situation for John now.
Yeah, and he keeps playing it.
And he keeps playing
C4, no! Just
Yeah.
a fraction of a second. Okay, so.
I hope he wins this one in order to
Yeah.
bring some excitement to this match, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, if Dominik wins this, I think it's essentially over.
True.
You're not coming back from 3.5 a half. I hope we will see that sometime this
Yeah,
time.
that'd be pretty
But
fun
it's
actually.
I feel like it's not really realistic. So what do you say about this opening position?
It's definitely quite peculiar. I mean, he's playing like he knows the theory. I'm not sure why, but he's going for the center. I don't know.
I don't know about this push e4 because you have to, like when you play e4.
It's a very critical move. You're gonna have to think about it. But now take on d5.
Yeah, exactly. What I was.
But on the other hand, b5 is a weakness now. So.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is you concede both those squares, and it does not feel like you have the kingside initiative to do so.
But also remember now, potentially White is gonna be able to play e5.
Yeah, that's. Perhaps he puts this one back first.
Yeah, that's true.
He's actually stopping now for the first
Oh,
time.
no. No, this
He
is
stopped
for
for 9 seconds.
But now e5 looks. Okay, yeah, he's still playing.
I feel like he's played a bit too many of these moves though. Like
preparing
he's not
moves.
preparing moves, and then he's just not really been like to the point. And one thing you have to remember also: this knight on b5. If black were to play a move like e5 here, I'm not saying it's a good move. I'm just suggesting it. If you were to play e5 at any point, this knight is trapped. Like it's not getting back.
Also, why wouldn't you consider e5 there?
Yeah, it was definitely considerable, but
no, but like as white, as e5.
Oh yeah, that I have no idea about. But now that we have this structure, I can make that point. Black can go f6, for example.
Yeah.
And now this knight is not coming back.
That's
like
true.
it's sitting there the rest of the game. And
though black can't really attack it with a pawn, so you won't lose it, but
you won't lose it. But the risk is if black starts kingside initiative at some point, not now, but at some point, this knight is gonna be black is gonna be playing with an extra piece on the kingside.
Exactly.
So if the kingside were to open up at some point, black just wins.
Yeah. And now it's exchanging up.
And the problem is also this pawn is super weak.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably play like f3.
Yeah,
exactly.
But now also you have to watch out for a knight just dropping back and then bishops starting to enter.
Yeah, exactly.
Very difficult to commentate when they're playing so extremely quickly. We're gonna finish the entire match in like 10 minutes. they've only played for like half an hour, so
yeah.
But I guess that's a bit.
That's fair.
Closing the center with e5 looked good, so Alex. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with you. E5 looked like a good move in there. But definitely, I think John has some serious issues here. This knight on b5 might look active, but it's so out of play because it really doesn't target anything. There's nothing here to target, and it just never comes back. And black can just maneuver quite freely because you're never really breaking up this pawn structure. So you can really. On the other hand, now he allowed a knight to come to d6.
So really, after going to d6, where are you going to go?
Yeah,
after
exactly.
That? I mean,
It still doesn't get anywhere.
The only place he can go to is just back to b5.
So he's trying to reroute his bishop to e3 now, which is, I guess, a good choice. Bishop goes to b6. The problem is, if you go bishop e3, there's also knight takes a4.
Yeah, there's a lot of tactics.
Yeah, which is not nice.
Probably king f1 is a good move.
he plays that.
Now king e2, bishop e3 is probably going to be the plan, I suppose. This bishop on c2 is not that good. Whoa.
Was that a mouse slip or did he just...
No, I mean, it's not a mouse slip, it was probably just a blunder.
Did he just hang the pawn in like a second?
Yeah, it's 2 minutes 45 seconds and
no, but why would you even... That has to be a mouse slip. Why would you even consider them?
Yeah, to be fair, you want to go like
he was looking for bishop e3 and then he grabbed the c2 bishop. But I mean, I guess
the bishop on c2 is one of my favorite.
Yeah, that bishop on c2 is like your bishop on f8 in the queen queen up game.
White will be able to exchange up that knight.
But it doesn't help, yeah, because okay, they continue.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't want to exchange it.
No, but I guess you can always, because this knight.
It's very close with 2 bishops. Maybe you're could be able to somehow.
I like that he has spent like perhaps. Yeah, he spent 0 time.
Yeah, to get every single move on the screen.
The move he thought most about was bishop c1 here. No, yes, bishop c1 here was considered, but apart from that, he's played every single move a second. Which is probably not a way to beat a guy 100 points higher than you.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, I guess also it's perhaps a strategy that if you manage to play accurately in some games, you're just gonna win those games because of the higher time.
Yeah.
But I think this is clean.
Black would be happy to exchange those dark square bishops because the pawns are.
Actually, how is he in this position? Because these pawns should make it difficult for Black to win, right?
Exactly.
Everything is very symmetric. Oh, but now there's another problem.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's over.
That's a big issue.
Then it's over. Then it's completely over.
Yeah.
You have to do this, but now this pawn can perhaps start running. Because the thing is, you can never, if you put that pawn on b2, for example, you can't do that. You can't push b3 at any point. I think he should have gone perhaps to c. Okay. My point was, okay, now he's just blunder b4.
Has he? Because you can take it with a bishop, right?
Oh, and then there's b6 in the end.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, but if you take with the bishop, I take, and I play.
Okay, but it's double pawns, right?
That should be.
But both of them have passed pawns, so that should be a draw, right?
That should be a draw. My point that I was trying to make was, if you put the pawn on b2, White can never play king c2, even if you move the bishop, because this king is gonna just enter and take all the pawns.
Yeah.
So basically, you can have this pawn on b2 for free, which probably
at the same time,
take.
White probably wants to go to a2, and maybe if you're able to go b6, you can then suddenly sack your bishop on e6 because you can't take because then b7, right?
Yeah, I mean like putting the bishop here and then here and then here. So that's why he played king c4, I guess, because now usually to submit with b3.
And that would just.
And the problem is now there's the threat of king b3. And if you allow b3, this king goes to b4 as well. So this is looking bad for John, yeah. And he's now spending his time.
Yeah,
a bit too late, but okay, it's better than never. Perhaps he can.
Why not just push?
Yeah, that was exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
You could have just perhaps pushed the b pawn earlier, and then if the king were to take it, you could have run here and taken all the king's side pawns. But
I mean, maybe you could consider something like bishop d3, king b3, b6, and I don't know. It doesn't even. It's not even close to working.
That looks really far-fetched.
Yeah.
But perhaps you could you could consider. What would you consider?
Yeah, resigning.
I mean, b6 is definitely considerable.
But then, I mean, if king c5, maybe you have some way to that close position.
Oh right, he can play king c5. I missed king c5.
Yeah.
Okay, this is bad news. This is really, really bad news. Yeah, how do you even defend this? It looks. I mean, the thing is that bishop c2 stops king b3, but b3, bishop d1. Right.
And then king b4.
King b4.
What about b6 then?
b6 then. Because if you go king back then you can take on b3. So in that position you probably have to go... okay, he's gonna check. King b3. Oh, that is the way to defend it.
Yeah, but now the b3. Like
b3,
the pawn, right?
king c3 I guess. b2, king c2.
So...
perhaps. Bishop c2.
I mean, either way there's king a2, right?
Bishop b... Okay, yeah.
Just resign.
Yeah, resign.
Just resign.
now.
Maybe you can go
Resign
like b6 and then go king c4, take an a5 and whatever. I mean that would probably be what I'd play.
That's a bit far-fetched, perhaps. But
Well,
okay, but this one is better because now you can, if you can get that pawn.
just
Actually.
take the queen and now b. I'm thinking b6 and king b5, right?
Okay, but I thought bishop a6 was a bit of a problem.
I mean, you can go king c5, king c6, right?
So he's actually winning the bishop back, but the problem is...
Yeah, he's one with blade.
a4 falls, yeah. So it's over.
So,
Yeah, I think honestly he should have spent more time in this game. He definitely had his chances. I think Dominik spent a good amount of time in the critical moments, and John is spending his time in the already lost positions. So yeah, it's sad for him because I think he definitely had some chances there, but now he's gonna face one hell of a fail battle. One more loss and it's over. We had the exact same situation. Obviously in the last match with John and Alex. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so just go with the king now.
Yeah, take the pawn. I think it's safe to say that John is gonna.
Oh yeah, he resigned.
Now he resigns. So basically, we have now potentially.
This is the last game if Dominik wins. So it seems like another Benoni. Or some sort of, I don't know. He likes to play this kind of weird setups.
So it will be interesting to see how John reacts to this, because he should know that he loses the game if he loses this. Because I told him earlier that the first 4.5 loses, or first 4.5 wins.
Yeah.
So
it's another Benoni.
But with a knight on c3 and pawn on c2.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Which is in general good for white. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got the c4 square for the knight.
Yes, exactly. So now this knight perhaps can start that journey already. Knight e2, knight c4. You could also just, I was about to say this, put the bishop on f4.
Now suddenly you can't go knight bd7 because d6 is hanging.
And if that knight lands on c4, it's lights out, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do now? You're black, you have a slightly, seriously worse position again.
Yeah, probably.
And you have to win. or draw is fine, draw is fine. That also, is not really the type of move you should go for, I feel like. Okay, I get his points. He's trying this. But
yeah.
I think rook e1 at some moment is going to be very annoying.
True.
Because you kind of lost connection with these rooks. And if a rook comes to e1, there will always be some... Usually you should not trade minor pieces in the structure, but trading major pieces is fine. Okay, so instead Dominik allows this knight to e5, but I guess that's not a big deal. Bishop is going to come back, I presume. Yeah, I mean, what else? Bishop e2 looks very sensible. So bishop is gonna come back to
you could even probably bishop.
Now he has this idea of f4, I guess.
Yeah. But at the same time, that would kind of limit his bishop on h2. But I don't know. I guess that's fine.
So bishop f5. Okay, but that actually is not
feels
really.
Like a lot of f4, g4.
Feels like you're gonna trap your own stuff now.
Yeah, that's true. f4, knight d7, g4.
Actually, is this not just losing? f4, knight d7 is the only move.
Yeah,
g4, bishop e4, g5.
And then knight takes d5. And then knight takes
Wait,
e4.
knight takes d5. Okay, he's just played for that. Yeah, this is over, g4. Yeah, this is game over. g5 now. Knight takes d5, knight takes... Oh, but there is a fork in the end.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So maybe it's not that over.
Yeah.
So knight takes d5, knight
too
takes...
quickly here.
No, but it's still winning, because... Oh, he's still even completely winning, because queen takes d6 in the end. But, okay, bishop d4. Oh, you should have thrown in bishop d4 check.
Oh yeah.
But maybe there was queen takes d4 there. Yeah, because now queen d6 is just winning. But bishop d4 you could have thrown in that one.
Yeah.
What really even happened there? Because you could have even taken, like, if I just show quickly, like, if you play bishop d4, if the king moves to h1, knight e3, you have that fork, and you're not allowing queen takes d6, but bishop d4, there might be bishop d4, queen takes d4, c takes, knight takes, and then a fork on f6 afterwards.
That looks very interesting.
It hangs on c2. That is very unfair. Anyways, let's see what happened. Okay, so he's taken on d6 and played rook e6. Yeah, that makes sense as well, yeah. because okay, but f5, yeah, you're not getting back anything.
Also,
Yeah.
to be fair, after f5 you can write take with the knight, and then take, recapture, and if rook takes c3 assigning. But even then, like...
Yeah, but you would just move the
Doesn't
bishop. you would take once and then move the bishop.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So his piece down. He has to win. He's allowed knight takes f1.
Okay, that's interesting.
And John is thinking about it, which is even more interesting.
I mean, you could take on c2, I guess, or take on c3.
Take on c3 makes sense.
Yeah.
Because now you have...
And also knight
now
takes
take
c2,
on
right?
But bishop g4. So that is not a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to take on f1, right?
You're gonna,
Oh,
take
never
on,
mind.
but bishop g4 is just lights out now. That's completely over. Unless I'm missing something. Rook e4? Okay, no, but it's never working.
Yeah.
You can just even play rook c1. Yeah, bishop g4 is game over now.
Oh, I didn't play the...
Okay, he
Play
allowed,
bishop
he allowed that. It still should be game. Okay, now f5 is just winning on the spot.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, perhaps not the highest quality of play here in
No.
some of these latest games. Yeah,
Okay,
rook b8 is not a fantastic move. Yeah, so...
Also with like 1.5 minutes on the clock as well. But yeah.
Yeah, he spent 1.7 seconds on rook b8. But okay, it was realistically rough. I guess. I mean, it definitely feels like the right players winning here.
Yeah.
It feels like John is not quite there in this match. He's
No,
not there.
exactly. I mean, he played extremely well in the first game, but then...
Yeah, the first game was super high
Yeah,
quality.
well,
I was like,
it's
whoa,
not-
these guys are really great. And then
the second game was a bit confusing.
yeah, definitely some missed chances for Dominik as well, but
Well, yeah,
he
he
almost
almost game as well. It
Yeah,
was a bit...
he almost blew it there, but okay, he had control. And I guess he's actually thinking in this position, which is quite insane.
Also, rook f8, rook g8. What? It's just made, okay? Okay, so it's over.
So it's over. It's another 4.5 victory. This okay.
I'm gonna play again.
You're still playing. Okay. I specifically told him that.
Oh yeah.
I specifically
You
told
forgot.
him that first the 4.5 wins, but apparently he perhaps forgot that. But okay.
Okay, it's a typical c4, a3, b4.
Yeah, but we don't have to talk too much about this game, but we could talk a little bit about the match because if you compare this match to the match with Alexander Stromengdahl and John Moore, I feel like this match was a lot more deserved. Like the 4.5 score, it kind of shows how the play was actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Because in that other match, there was definitely some missed chances for Alex. He definitely had some chances to play some better chess there. But in this match, it just feels to me like not a huge difference in playing strength, but it feels like just the choices of openings, the time management. It feels like it's just not really ideal from John in this game. Okay, we could check this game out. I should probably text him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely feels like the right player won in this one. Let's see if he can answer. I guess we're not gonna have any interviews in this one either, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Since they don't have their cameras on, we have to solve that.
Yeah, he wrote to you right now.
He wrote to me.
During the game.
He knows it's but
He just keeps on playing.
I should write to Dominik as well, so that he doesn't
Yeah.
think it's actually.
Not the first 8 games, but out of 8 games.
Yeah. Okay, but okay. Do you have any? I guess we could just reflect a bit. Do you have any thoughts about the match or any?
I mean,
reflections.
I'm not sure really. I think personally a lot of it was due to like small mistakes simply by playing too quickly by Jon.
Yeah, to me, honestly, it kind of feels like in this game we could perhaps bring it up quickly. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
we can
just go here. Right, which game was
So I was thinking about the second game, yeah?
So this game, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the
the c5 move I was
Yeah,
telling you. I feel like because the first game, as you remember, it was a really accurate game from both players. John held the draw quite comfortably with black, and then they had this kind of usual. Here, I think already here feels like a bit of inexperience. This one should be taken.
Yeah, true.
And then knight goes to c3. He takes like this, and then this one I feel like is not at all a good move. I feel here you should play g3, you should play e3. But the problem is after this, I think Dominik reacts in a great way, because the problem now is that you're winning the c5 square. It's like if you play d5, you've won the c5 square. If you don't play d5, you and you play as you did in the game with d5, you've won the d4 square against this one. So here, if I were black, I would just move my knight to e6, for example, and then put the pawn on c6, and I just have a positional advantage. And then you can see the game continued. He put the knight on c6. I'm not too sure about this idea, to be honest, but okay, it's not bad. But then we had this moment when they played here, as you can see, extraordinarily quickly.
Yeah.
And here Dominik was looking for this idea, which I think is a very good idea.
Yeah.
And here he played instantly the move pawn to c5, which just essentially hangs the pawn with rook a5.
True.
And I feel like, after this, he kind of couldn't recover.
Even just mentally after
exactly,
losing this game.
Obviously, probably the reason why he played so extremely quickly here is because he felt like the last game I played someone who's higher rated than me, and I held easily with the black pieces. Now I have white, I can press, I can do my shit, and then all of a sudden the rook lands on a5, and you realize, shit, my pawn is. And he spent actually 46 seconds on move b4. I guess it was just tough here because, there are maybe some ideas of perhaps moving net, but obviously this is just much better for black.
Yeah,
I guess
of course.
You were talking about that as well. Like,
but I still feel like he got a comeback there after b4, but he just, I don't know. I guess he played too passively, too slowly, because after like. Queen e6 I don't really like, because you're inviting bishop c4 with a tempo which you want to go anyway, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't really appreciate that move. And then also this one was actually quite interesting.
Yeah, I like
threatening knight d4, which is a ridiculous move. But here as well, I agree with you. This felt like a turning point as well. Like this couple of moves, queen c3 followed by rook b1 and bishop c6. I doubt that was the right decision.
I mean, queen c3 was a bit strange. Personally, I'll probably play bishop c4 here, right? And then followed by like queen e7 maybe.
Exactly, but especially...
It'd be nice to get a knight to d5, but that takes a lot of time.
Especially here, bishop c4, I do not really understand how you can play any other move than bishop c4.
That's true.
Even if bishop c4 is not the best move, it's like by far the most natural.
Yeah,
because clearly the idea with rook e8 is that he's gonna move this knight somehow, and like if you can, for example, if you play as you did with rook b1, I can just demonstrate really quickly. If you were to play bishop c4 now, with the queen dropping back, you just put a guy in between there, and you have no threats to f7 whatsoever. So I feel like here bishop c4 was definitely an interesting option, and probably this is still better for black, I guess. But now you have some ideas. You could play h4 perhaps, eyeballing knight g5. It feels like just the right way to go. But anyways, this rook b1 move kind of feels completely planless, and then okay, he takes this, and I think it was really nice technique from Dominik to get the win from here. I think he played. I like this idea of just, stopping all the counterplay, bringing the king into the center, making sure, and then obviously this was a nice, really nice actually, tactic to finish it off with, if I can go back to that position real quickly, with, this final tactic with bishop e2, and after rook to d2, bishop takes on f3, and then rook e3, and then knight d4.
Yeah. Should we check how the game went, or if they're still playing, I guess?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he lost.
Yeah, he lost that one as well.
Yeah.
And I guess they stopped playing now.
Yeah, I think so.
Should we check the other games quickly as well? From the match?
Sure. We can just check. I don't know what's wrong with my keyboard, I can't. So we saw like Oh, okay. So Dominik basically just went for an attack, and he got this position with a lot of pressure. The rook got trapped.
Yeah.
The queen.
Oh yeah, we don't have
Okay,
to
yeah,
check.
we don't have to check
We don't
that.
have to check this.
Okay, alright. So the other games.
Yeah, we can check briefly the other games.
So this one was the game where with the bloom effect.
Yeah, this was where it all went wrong, I guess. Yeah.
And so we had, I think, I liked his position in the opening from like a blitz perspective. I think knight b6 was the
Yeah.
massacre.
Yeah, it was indeed a massacre.
Okay, so I think kind of the mistake he made was that he played this knight b6 move, allowing a5 anyway, which you'd want to play as white, I think. So
Yeah, and if I can just add on to that, I think this was typical from John during this match. He spent 2.3 seconds on making this maneuver, which obviously, like playing a guy like Dominic, he's a strong player. He's gonna punish you for doing that. And I think I really don't think he's so much worse, but you know, moves like this, just allowing this, it probably is what caused him to lose today.
exactly, and even like these rook b8 moves. I mean, if I was him, I'd probably try to go for something like knight e4 or try to pressure white because you're pawn down and you're going to have to attack.
Yeah, especially here also there was this move bishop a8 which we were talking about. It turned out to be actually kind of clever because he brought. But then we have to also.
Also, I didn't like the h6 move because I mean you're basically just weakening the king, and you saw that at the end of the game. You know.
I agree with you, but we also have to acknowledge Dominik's e4 followed by e5, bishop takes f3 and e takes d6. Really nice stuff from Dominik. And then perhaps he missed g takes f3 here actually. I guess we're gonna have to ask him about that one at some point because it was definitely a possibility, I think. But even so, I think quite clinically. I mean, he felt like he avoided the unnecessary risks. And he just went for the straightforwardness. And here, okay.
Yeah, he missed bishop f4, but whatever.
But obviously, it was winning. We could check also, or perhaps I can just click here actually. We could check with this one as well. Do I click here?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was, I guess this was the last, was this the last game? Not the last game. This is actually the same mistake as in the first game, if you recall. He plays, I guess, a bit too over-optimistically going for that, but after cd4 it turns out you just lose control over these squares.
Exactly, and I played it immediately as well.
And the thing is like, in the open Sicilian, this structure is quite common, but the problem for you here is these pieces are not as active as they usually are in the open Sicilian. And black has organized all his pieces as he usually does in an open Sicilian, but white has some really strange looking pieces.
Yeah.
And
if I was him, I'd try to do anything to the e5 here.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was also a moment here, particularly, when I thought e5 was
because you can take on e5, then bishop takes and takes on d2 because the queen is hanging, right?
Exactly.
So you're gonna have to move that to somewhere like a8, and I don't know.
I guess there's pressure here and here, so probably it's better for black. But it feels like
even then you can go,
feels like it was a bit too slow, and I really like this pawn structure that Dominik chose to. Because
the question was whether bishop d3 was a mouse slip or maybe just
obviously we had that question because we got this. I can show you quickly.
Bishop e3 is, a very logical move here, and I was expecting that, but then bishop d3 just has,
especially since we saw this position. I'm guessing it was a must because we saw this position and we acknowledged that bishop e3 here was not a possibility due to knight takes on a4, when all of a sudden you cannot capture because bishop takes e3, and if you capture here then knight takes b6 and black just wins the pawn. So we assumed that his idea with king f1 to e2, which was actually a nice idea, I thought. We assumed the idea was bishop e3, and then he played bishop d3, blundering b3, which I'm guessing he wanted to bring out his bishop here, and then he accidentally took this bishop.
Maybe.
That happens. We saw that in some other matches as well.
But still, maybe you shouldn't mouse it when 2 minutes and 44 seconds.
Yeah, but I guess playing this so quickly, you can just accidentally. That happens to everyone. It's not so easy, but That's obviously one of the sad things playing online. That
Of course.
such stuff can happen, but okay, it happens to everyone. So I guess it's just part of the game, yeah.
Yeah, true.
And then we had also the last game. We could just check that one briefly before concluding, since they played actually quite quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was just kind of sort of Benoni, but with a knight on c3 and pawn on c2.
this one, yeah. Yeah, and it feels like Dominik just knew this one better as well.
Yeah.
Putting the pressure here,
It was quite a crushing victory.
and then he began the mid. And then obviously here, any Benoni player knows that. I mean, you could tell that John is not
Yeah.
too familiar with the Benoni. He usually doesn't play Benoni. He plays as we saw in the first game.
Yeah.
Solid
It
stuff.
was quite unfortunate because he was leading the Swedish national championship, and then he played against you were like the second place, and he decided to play Benoni, but then he mixed up the theory without he knew it. So yeah, he lost because of that kind of.
Yeah, and especially like just apart from the theory, idea-wise, this bishop f5 move is almost never good because usually this bishop cannot stay on f5. Like it's a good idea if you can keep it there, but you can't.
Yeah. One of the things with Benoni is the bishop is quite terrible.
Yeah,
like
you
a
have
nice
to.
square bishop.
If you want this one, you have to be really careful that you don't trap your pieces. And John plays it after not too much thought, and he just loses it.
Yeah, true. But even then, like he had possibilities with bishop d4.
Yeah, there was this interesting moment. with
Queen
this.
takes.
Queen takes probably doesn't work. Is my very quick conclusion, because
Yeah, I mean the king is very weak as well, so I don't know.
you don't really get
King
any.
g7.
Like you could do this.
Maybe you don't have to go king g7. Maybe you can go like
Yeah, but you
king
can't.
f8 and then take on e2
Yeah,
instead.
but you can't go for this. I mean, material is equal, and the king is bad, and this one is out of place. So I think this is probably not correct
sure.
for white. On the other hand, bishop d4 can be met with king h1,
But then knight e3 looks.
knight e3, and then I guess you just get to move the queen somewhere.
Yeah.
And probably this is.
I mean it's definitely black.
This is definitely a
Most-
mess. Black can definitely try this,
This is the best. I mean.
but you know the bishop comes to f3, and now there's a threat of knight d5.
Oh yeah,
Or a
that's true.
serious threat. And if you go, for example, queen c6,
Then bishop f3, right?
bishop f3, and
Now knight f6 is a threat. I mean.
yeah, this is just horrible. Probably this was also losing. So I think clearly. I think clearly the choice of Benoni. He in the first game he chose his normal stuff, and he I don't know why he stopped playing that. That was because he had a good result in that one. But then I guess he just wanted to win because he needed it. But this because really White's idea here, when you put the knight on e5 in all the Benonis, he's gonna look at this f4 move, especially having already played h3, and putting this bishop on f5 is a bit of a suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was an interesting match still. I'm very glad that we got this tournament underway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be back perhaps next weekend with
Yeah.
with the next matches. But until then, yeah.